Have you ever felt so completely drained that you just wanted it all to end? Like you've given everything you have, and there's absolutely nothing left in the tank? It's a feeling of profound exhaustion, a deep, soul-level weariness that goes beyond just being tired. If you've ever been there, you're in good company. In fact, one of the most powerful prophets in the Bible found himself in that exact same spot. Let's talk about Elijah. This wasn't just any man. This was a spiritual giant. Picture him, a figure cloaked in rough, simple garments, his face weathered by the harsh Middle Eastern sun, dust settled on his sandals. This was a man who had stood face to face with corrupt kings, boldly challenging the entire system. He wasn't intimidated by royal robes or the spectacle of false prophets. His strength came from a different source. We often remember Elijah for the big dramatic moments. The most famous one is on Mount Carmel. Imagine the scene. Hundreds of false prophets, chanting, dancing, trying to summon fire from their god, Baal, and there's Elijah standing alone watching them fail. Then it's his turn. He builds an altar, soaks it with water not once, not twice, but 3 times until it's completely drenched. He says a simple, powerful prayer, and whoosh! Fire falls from heaven. Not just a little spark, but a consuming blaze that devours the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and even the water in the trench. The crowd, moments before wavering, falls on their faces crying out, "The Lord, He is God." It was an incredible, undeniable display of God's power, a total victory. You'd think Elijah would be on top of the world, right? But that's not what happened next. After this massive spiritual high, he gets a message from the furious Queen Jezebel, who threatens his life, and that's when everything changes. The man who stood fearlessly before hundreds of armed prophets suddenly runs for his life. Fear, which had been held at bay for so long, finally caught up with him. He runs and runs, deep into the wilderness, until he can't go any further. He collapses under a solitary broom tree, a sparse, lonely shrub offering little shade. And there, in the silence of the desert, this mighty prophet, who has seen fire fall from the sky, utters one of the most heartbreaking prayers in the Bible. He asks God to let him die. He says, "I have had enough, Lord. Take my life." Think about that. This wasn't a moment of weakness in the way we often think of it. It was a moment of complete and utter exhaustion. His shoulders were slumped, his body was spent, and his spirit was crushed under the weight of it all. He wasn't asking for another miracle or another victory. He was just asking for the pain to stop. He had reached his absolute limit. And here's the most beautiful part of the story, the part that speaks directly to us when we're at our own breaking points. How did God respond? Did he rebuke Elijah for his lack of faith? Did he shame him for running away? No. God's response was one of incredible tenderness and compassion. He met Elijah right where he was, in his exhaustion and despair. An angel appeared, not with a loud trumpet or a grand announcement, but quietly. The angel gently woke him and said, "Get up and eat." Beside Elijah was a simple meal, bread baked on hot stones and a jar of water. God didn't give him a lecture. He gave him food. He didn't demand more from his prophet. He gave him permission to rest. Elijah ate, drank, and then lay down again to sleep. God let his tired servant rest. This happened twice. God's immediate solution for Elijah's spiritual and emotional crisis was physical care, food, water, and sleep. This story reminds us that faith isn't always about loud, heroic acts or standing strong on the mountaintop. Sometimes, faith is about surviving the wilderness. And God's presence isn't always in the fire and the earthquake. Sometimes, it's in the quiet provision of bread and water. It's in the gentle permission to rest when you have nothing left to give. If you're feeling like Elijah today, burned out, overwhelmed, and just done, remember this. God understands your exhaustion. He sees your weariness, and his response isn't condemnation. It's compassion. He doesn't demand more from you. He offers rest for your soul. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be tired. Sometimes, the most spiritual thing you can do is take a nap and have a snack. God met Elijah in his lowest moment with kindness, and he will meet you there too. You're not alone in that feeling, and help is always available. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Take care of yourselves.